Welcome back to PF International. This weekend sees the first ever race at Super 1 featuring a class where the engines have been drawn by lot. In this case, it's the Minimax class for drivers from 11 years of age. Now, this is an exercise to test the logistics of such an event, loosely based on how the Rotax World Finals operate and the demand by competitors for racing on this most level of playing fields. Earlier, I spoke to some of the drivers, their dads, and to the spokesman for the engine importers, Jag, about this new initiative. George, first weekend of the Academy class with the pooled engines. How have you found the logistics so far?
It's been hard work. We've built enough engines for potentially for a full grid. For various reasons, we didn't have a lot of time to get things together in terms of getting the entries in. But it's gone very well, and we've had absolutely no problems with the engines. We've had great consistency, and talking to all the customers, they're very happy with the way it's going.
And you've brought the engines all racked neatly on the van, and then all the bits and pieces. What are the other bits and pieces? So they're not only drawing by lot for an engine, there's other bits and pieces as well. Just explain what those are.
Indeed, yeah. The engines are supplied with all accessories as they would be delivered if you were buying a new engine. With the Rotax, you get all the parts complete with the engine: carburetor, coil, exhaust system, wiring loom, etc. And we have sealed all those items as well as the engine. So when they draw their number for an engine, which is a random number, they get an accessory box which is the same random number. But in that box we know every sealed item, and we've got it all logged, so we know what's in each box, so we know every item that each competitor has got.
Definitely very equal, and there's nothing between the engines, and if you make a mistake, you can't really make it up in the next couple of laps like you can in club meetings.
Well, we were in Super 1 in Honda last year and enjoyed the closeness of the racing, and haven't really been able to get a budget together to do Super 1 Rotax. But with this concept, everything on a level playing field, on a set budget, it seems to work for us.
It's a really good class, it's even, so it's a level playing field. Everybody gets a chance of winning. Yeah, so it's a good thing, and it's good price money as well.
For me, the major reason to come into this is the cost factor, because it is cheap if you look at the cost. Yeah. And it's certainly, the racing is very, very close.
Steve, do I understand right, you've experienced the pool engine route in Spain before?
Yeah, it was something that was introduced last year with the equivalent of Jag, which is Corridas, a Spanish and Portuguese Rotax, and it worked very well. It's very affordable, very, very even. And it's a good concept because everybody arrives with a chance of winning, everybody, and that's what racing should be about.
I think pooled engines are a great idea, you know, because everybody's equal, and it's fair for everybody because people spend a lot of money in engines, so that's a bit...
One of the critical things to get the Rotax engines working perfectly is obviously setting the carburetor up. That involves the needle position, jetting. How does that work?
We serviced and dyno tested all the carburetors before delivery. We've sealed the float bowl so that they can't get into the slow jets and the finer settings like the float heights and so on. They can change the main jet and they can change the needle position. And we had to give one or two guys some helpful advice on the jet settings, but everybody's really found it easy.
So anybody thinking of coming into this perhaps as a full championship next year, you obviously, I mean, you guys have been pretty quiet this weekend, which is pretty good. You've been sitting around the awning, not had to give out that much advice, but it's nice the fact that if people do have an issue, they can come and see you if they want to know about what jetting they should be using and the needle position, and etc. All of that information is going to be available, isn't it?
Absolutely right. Yeah, we've made it very clear to them that we are here to help, and there's people racing who have experience, and there's other people racing very competitively that have got very minimal experience. So it's a great sounding board for future drivers. So to get people in at hopefully a reduced price, to get them into mainstream national class racing. And they can do one-off races. They don't have to do a series. They can do just a race that's near to home or at their home track.
So here we step into unfamiliar territory then for the Academy class, and this should be pretty interesting. Lewis Brown and Cameron McLaughlin on row 1, with Elliot Harvey and Ayrton Simmons on row 2, and Ryan McLeish and Harry Carter right behind. Here we go, straight into the lead then goes Lewis Brown, and it looks like the 37's gone with him. Yes indeed, Elliot Harvey into second place as they flow round the loop, and up to third position comes Harry Carter in the 41. Off the loop they come, and it's still out in front, Lewis Brown. He checks behind him to see who's close. Now remember, as we heard in the interviews, this is about driver, not about kart, because all the engines are pulled, they're identical. So we're going to get some great moments. Oh, we've got an off. We've got an off. That was Elliot Harvey. Elliot Harvey, who was up in second place, spun off a hairpin wide. I wonder if there was a bit of contact there with Harry Carter, but he's certainly out now.
I think it was Cameron McLaughlin that had contact with him. The S-plate's lost a few places. He has, so S-plate's dropped a few as a result of the contact, but it's Elliot Harvey that's come off worse, and Harvey was undoubtedly, Jake, a contender to win this today. He won the first heat, I think it was, yesterday, and was certainly looking forward to today. He doesn't look like, you can see in the background there, he's still running, but he's a mile behind. The one thing Elliot can take from today, though, and this weekend, is that clearly he's got the pace. If this runs, or say if it runs, it will run as a full championship next year, both in Minimax and Junior Rotax as well next season with pooled engines. If he runs in this next year, he will undoubtedly, Elliot Harvey, be a contender to take this one. But today, it's Lewis Brown, who's also had a good day, followed by Harry Carter on the 41.
Ayrton Simmons in third in the 18. Fourth is Ryan McLeish in the 71 as they head to hairpin 2 again. Fifth position, the 99 of Ryan Luscombe. Some great battling through the field. Don't forget, as we said before, pulled engines, so it's all about driver. It is not about technology. Every single driver has the same equipment to go racing with, and that is what is going to make the difference. It's about who does the best on the track on the day, and that's real racing. You can see the Red Bull colours of the 71. Ryan McLeish getting a little bit of a jostle there from Ryan Luscombe as they battle for fourth position, and that's a little bit of a train developing as the three in front get a bit of a break. Here comes Luscombe up the inside. Nice and easy in the end. Doesn't even need to sweat up to fourth position, but you can bet that Ryan McLeish will be back on him in a heartbeat or two. Over the loop and over the Litchfield Bridge. The leaders have broken away a little, the top three from the rest of the pack. It looks like there was a bit of contact there in the battle for fourth position. One got away clear from the rest. We didn't quite see what happened there, but that long train of karts has suddenly been dropped, and a lot of them are trying to make up ground. We'll try and pick up the pieces later on into the race. 21, second place now. Very nice move there from Brown. Now following in the wheel tracks of Harry Carter, the new leader. And fourth position behind them. Can't quite see yet who that is in fourth position following these through. I think it is Luscombe who managed to get away from that jostle of karts. So I think everything just got a little bit too close for comfort on the Litchfield Bridge. And whoever was able to get their kart going again was able to stagger away from it, is who reaped the benefits. So there is Luscombe in the 99. We look back to fifth position, and I think that looks like the 79 of Morgan Porter in fifth position, battling it out for fifth place. He's having a few problems of his own. Someone breathing down his neck as they head under the Litchfield Bridge. For the lead again, Brown up the inside. Nicely done on the inside of Harry Carter. And still, Ayrton Simmons in the 18. Just watching at the moment, picking his moment. He'll get a chance to go for the lead himself, waiting in the wings for these two to continue their scrap. And now he's right on the tail of Harry Carter. This is where he can make the move at the first hairpin, but you can bet that Carter is going to try and make a move on Brown. He decides against it on that particular corner, but as they head for the Fullerton S's, who's going to make the lunge, or are they just going to keep this momentum flying? Nerfing each other forward in terms of momentum. A bit of a slide there from the 41 of Carter. You can feel he's really under pressure here. Simmons right on his tail, and Carter similarly on the tail of the 21 of Lewis Brown. It was predicted that this would be close, and it certainly is.
Ryan Luscombe in fourth place on the 99 will want these three to start battling, to start overtaking each other so he can close them down, get that much closer. Looks like there's a move for fourth place in the background. Under the bridge they go. It's still Lewis Brown that wins this one. It's the helicam that's bringing you the overhead pictures today. The Busfly helicam down off the Litchfield Bridge, down the hill. Looking back through the loop. This is the new extension at PF International, which was completed just a couple of seasons ago as the 41 Carter up the inside. And Ayrton Simmons goes with him, drops Lewis Brown back a couple. So Brown back to third place, and it's Carter now who's out front. It's interesting today, the racing in the earlier heats and final one has been very close indeed, and were it not for that contact between McLaughlin, the S-plate, and 37 Elliot Harvey, this three-way battle might be a five-way battle as Simmons comes up the inside for the lead and Brown goes with him this time. Carter now back to third.
musical chairs at the front of this field, and the 18 of Ayrton Simmons giving a hand signal there to 21 Lewis Brown, who completely ignores it. He was clearly saying, come on Bush, let's go for it. Now Simmons trying to slam the door shut, and Harry Carter in the 41. Last lap, and out in front, Brown just holding it from Simmons, and Carter has actually been nabbed by Luscombe there, who manages to get himself into third position the last lap. And is Ayrton Simmons going to make that do-or-die manoeuvre to get past Lewis Brown on the final lap into the second hairpin? He's just set the fastest lap, 61.88. Very quick indeed for these karts, and you can see Brown defending. He needs to keep this line. Is Ayrton Simmons going to get that opportunity? You can bet he'll take it if he gets one. Luscombe still there in third position. He might be able to pick up the pieces if there's any fisticuffs. Simmons again, I think that was his last real attempt to get past. He's not going to make the move now. Lewis Brown has this one in the bag. He continues to defend on the inside, through the left, through the right, but he takes the victory after a fantastic performance. And yes, he signals to his mate on the wall. Brilliant performance, and he's the winner of the first race in the Academy class. Roll on 2014. I'm looking forward to this.
So you came from the back and got into third. Are you pleased with your result?
Yeah, really pleased. I mean, I made a good start, and then in the middle of the race, the front three kind of got away a bit, and I was hoping to catch them. And then he started battling, and just saw my chance. And when third place went wide down there, I just took it and kept them third for the race. So yeah, I'm really pleased. Yeah.
It was an exciting race. Can you talk me through it?
Well, I was started in fourth place. Around the start, I went up to sixth. Quite a bad start, to be honest. Then I started to overtake people, and it was very difficult switching places with the three first places. And then I saw that third place was like going backwards, and the best I can do is second. So that's it, really. I just want to thank my sponsors. They did a brilliant job.
Excellent. So are you pleased with your win?
Yeah, I was expecting a bigger gap, but I couldn't pull it. And I'd just like to say thanks to my mum and dad for entering me in this race this weekend.
Great show from the Academy class. The Iami cadets, though, are battling for a very hotly contested championship right after the break.